right. Giggity, 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 goo. Do I have a surprise for you? All right. Oh yeah. How's she going? We're gonna record the first ever Huey cast on a new mission I just made today up near Novorossiysk. And we're on a boat here and she's doing a number on some Elnas over there on the beach, sinking some cargo ships. Rip near the Crimea and the Black Sea. So welcome to the channel. Welcome to our Artistic Flight Huey themed Huey cast. Today is May 5th, 2022, and we're going to take off here real quick for you. Feel free to visit our website, www.artistic-flight.com, and feel free to help support us here and purchase our $10 DLC content. So I'll let you guys check that out. There's a description what you get for that, and that way it's win-win. Everybody gets something there. We're gonna get some digital editing software here soon, make these videos look a little prettier for you. So don't mind me, just gonna give this thing a quick start up and we'll get flying here and go from there. I believe this is a combat. Yes, it is. There should be some gunboats up here in a little bit. I was hoping this would be a nighttime flight, but we're going to go into the night if this is a long enough flight here. We're into the sunset anyway. Check that. Alright, you gotta get these doors open, so we'll also do return fire. Yeah, alright. And what was I gonna do there? Oh yeah, let's synchronize compass. Oh, probably shouldn't have reset that yet. Oh. Alright, clear right, clear left, and clear front. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, that's strange. Alright, let's go back to spectators. And let's try this again. Where were we? Captain Crunch. Oh, that was random. So, we're on a Chinese ship, that's probably why. It's probably not compatible with the good old blue US of A and any kind of A. I better start this faster here, I guess, eh? There's that. There's that. Alright, we're slowly sliding here. We're ready to take off. Some weird stuff going on here. Get a little bit more shoddy here once we can get off the deck, hopefully. I don't think we need any lights on today. Turn that off. Alright, let's take off here and get off this moving ship. Alrighty. Looks like it's going to be a long time till sunset. So, welcome to the channel. Sorry about the slow start there. First time I've loaded this and made the mission. And we should be just south of Novorossiysk here. And let's practice in my hover before we get going. So I know I promised you some nighttime flying, so looks like it might be a couple hours till, well, at least we'll fly into the sunset here, hopefully. Let me get going. We're going to take off. We're going to go north, and we're going to get away from this Chinese ship before it tries to kill me again. Kind of quiet for some weird reason. So I was on Facebook the other day and we were talking to some people there about Novorossiysk and I believe the DCS VR Aviators group. So we're not quite there yet. We're going to come into there soon. And if you guys are new to the channel, please like, subscribe, and follow, ring a bell, all that kind of stuff there. Share the videos. And let me know in the comments what you guys want to see here in the next little while. And I think we'll keep flying all the way up past the Napa, right into the Sea of Azov. And on a side note, way over to the west there, I believe, I was going to say, there was a whole bunch of cargo ships going pretty much all the way around the Black Sea, so hopefully it doesn't lag too much, because I don't think I've ever made a map like with that many enemy ships before. But on a side note, I should arm my rocket pods. In case I want to sink one of these L-nests, and maybe we'll do that first thing right now. I think this is Glensidic, whatever you call it. You can correct me if I'm wrong on the pronunciation on that there in the comments. Alright. So, since I get the spirit of the war going on there, and figure maybe we'll do a little bit there in virtual reality versus supporting it in real life. And I made a couple videos earlier, but they didn't turn out very well there with OBS, so hopefully this one turns out better, and will be the first official Huey cast. I welcome you all to the channel, new people who have been following me. Hopefully you will enjoy the time. And we're going to sink this in about 3, 2, 1. I see the trigger's working really well here on this Maxflight set. Alright, let's switch her back to miniguns. Alright, so I'll do a nice gun run here, and then maybe I'll let Buddy open up on him here in this right door gunner. Let's get that plate fire. ahead of time. Alright, I'll do my run and then goes around there. Alright. Oh, did that thing blow up already? Oh yeah. How many Huey pilots on DCS say you sink Elmas all day long, just like it's easy peasy? Alright. Right, we're gonna take that right door gunner and put them back on return fire. Sometimes they open up there way off in the distance. And let's get rid of you. I'm gonna recenter my pedals here. Alright, so I'm glad that went over well. I'm not sure if the door gunners are working after all, but we'll see here in a little bit. So if you're just joining us now, if you skipped ahead, please like and subscribe and follow the channel. And if you want to join our Facebook group, Artistic Flight, feel free to join. I believe it's open to the public. And feel free to post anything helicopter related or aviation related in there. Alright, so we got just under 40 minutes fuel on our gauge there. I'll take a little lucky so you guys can see. Fuel quantity, I say 35 minutes. You can always go back there and pause it when we look again. I don't really like to keep my head pretty much slammed against my desk here, which I have floating over my Saitek from the Maxflightstick. It's the Huey 2022 cyclic and collective and anti-torque pedal set for sale at, oh, I think it's like 1800 US. Just gonna see if this guy opened up or not. Oh, you are working. Oh, goody, 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 gosh. Alright. Well, that was a positive note. And we're going to swing in here in the Bay of Novorossiysk. Flying around just over 100 knots, 110 knots. And we're pretty good on the EGT. So if you guys are joining us here for the first ever Huey cast, 2022, May 5th, we're going to do a whole bunch of things Huey related, helicopter related. Maybe the odd time I might slip into a Gazelle SA342 or maybe an MI8 HIP, I believe is the nickname for that. And I do miss the BF 109, so one day I might get in there and fly around for y'all on that as well. But I've been flying over about 100 hours now since I got this set, and I haven't been more happy to fly the Huey, so I'm stuck with my lover here. By the way, DCS Digital Combat Simulator, you can get it on Steam, or you can go to the ED website, Digital Combat Simulator, or just type it in Google, I'm sure you'll find it. And it's free to download. The Huey is not, but you can download it there for, oh, not sure what it's going for now, say 40 US, 50, it's worth it anyway. Oh, my feet are sliding off this pedal here. Sorry, it's peeking out my nose gap there. So this is the biggest harbor in the Black Sea, Novorossiysk. I believe the only further airport here in DCS is in Napa, unless you're modding, making a map editor. You can land on the offshore oil platforms and rearm and refuel there. Seems like that's gonna be sunset in about an hour or two. I guess they probably should have pushed it out to 9. Oh well. At least we have a low setting sun there. Something different for a change. No, guys, I promised you nighttime that I'm testing out this for the first time here, so bear with me. I thought maybe on another hand, maybe dusk until... Or wait. Yeah, dusk until dark there would be much better than flying around right off the bat. First podcast there, HueyCast in the dark. That way you could see the Huey, see the sights and the sounds and the birds, and we'll try not to fly into them because I'm not sure if they modded bird strikes yet. Or, sorry, oh shoot, we're going over EGT a bit there. Where you can hit a bird, like in real life, or you can do bird strikes, and they're not very pleasant there as they come right through the windshield. Leave in the comments there if you guys have ever seen a bird strike in real life or been involved in one of those, and they're for sure they're not too fun to deal with there, where the bird comes through the windshield when you're flying at 120 knots, smash you in the face. Be like riding your motorcycle, oh, say 200 miles per hour and getting hit by a raccoon. Smack in the face. Sure, that wouldn't be pretty fun either. Or like a beaver, really. Or from Canada, eh? Alright. So, I remember, oh, say 4 years ago, we had a huge Huey online gathering up near here, and I think I might still have some pictures from that when we had like 30 Hueys on the runway at Novorossiysk. Leave in the comments if you're a DCS player, you remember a couple years ago, oh, say when we're still version 2.0, going to 2.5-ish maybe, somewhere around there. Having a big Huey camp up here, and it was literally just in the harbor, some troop transport, stuff like that. Yeah, I better go a little bit heavier left pedal here. So, let me know in the comments, what do you guys want to focus on the most? Do you want me to talk about helicopters flying around? Maybe a little lesson or two in the flights, or just talking about random stuff? Or if you prefer me to just fly and be a mute, silent Bob. Oh, we can get down in here and do some nice close-ups of this harbor here. Alright, we're gonna go under this crane, hopefully. Yeah, there we go. Oh, baby. Nice and close there. Oh, let's go over here. Oh, can we get through that? Oh, let's push our luck. No, I'm not. Oh, boy. There's a bunch of cranes hanging out there. That's probably wouldn't have worked out very good, and I don't want to get too crazy on the stick here. Ladies, you can, though, on mine, by the way, on a side note, but if you move this cyclic, or also known as the stick, too quickly here, you can mass bump. And I'm trying to figure out what in the hell this thing is over here. It looks like something floating. Probably some sort of radio tower, maybe, and VR things look wild. And Oculus Rift CV1, whoa, that was a tower, my lord. I wonder in the replay if you guys can see that or not. Well, I'm going to be editing this later. I guess we're not going live yet, eh? Alright, let's go land in the football stadium. On a side note, let me do an external view here real quick, and I'll show you what skin we're flying with. It's just the... oh boy. Wait, let me see here what we're doing. It's a Russian, I said RF, I guess the Russian forces. Gray. So, anyway, in case you guys get the joint forces there in the mission editor, and you can pull up every live livery at once with just one faction, which is nice, without having to put like every single country there on the map with different Hueys for each. So you can pick up the Joint Combined Task Force there. I'll pull it up in the list here if I remember later, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Anyway, on a side note, special shout out to Sergio and the helisimmer.com or the helisimmer Facebook group, or not sure what the other one, helicopter, is linked into that, but check out his videos there as well. Help you guys out with rotary flight. And we'll try to make these DCS related videos look as pretty as we can with the Huey. And don't mind me, I have a little shiver here with my fan. I'm gonna maybe turn that off. Freezing. There we go. Let's have the largest floor fan I could buy from Walmart sitting beside me there to cool me down and keep my VR lens from fogging up. Ooh, sorry, man, I mean, got something to talk about there. I was gonna say, tips or tricks for VR. So when you guys are landing the Huey, you're going to need some right pedal to counteract the torque on the landing until you get into ETL. And you're going to be starting to center the pedals here about 40 knots. And you're going to go into a left pedal here. So keep her in the hover. But I'll circle around here real quick. And we'll try to land real nice, pretty. Sometimes the graphics glitch out and this will turn all weird colors when you land. But it's acting up. Let's try to get her right in that circle of love. And you guys can judge me later in the comments how good you think my landing is. It deserves a 7 or an 8 out of 10 or not. Now let's do an external view real quickly. I don't know, what do you think? It's your judgment. I wasn't really trying too hard there, I guess. Let's get her out of here. And as they say in Deutschland, Tor! So I'll try to make my own songs as we go here to keep y'all entertained, and hopefully it doesn't scare too many folk away. So if you haven't already by now, please like the video, follow, subscribe. I'm gonna have a whole bunch of Huey shenanigans, Huey flights, Huey topics, hot topics. And in case you guys are seeing any little bit of blur there, I'm running an external hard disk drive to not worry about overly recording these videos. So it may get a little choppy from time to time. And you know what, I think we're going to land here and top up some fuel real quick. And then maybe that'll remind me to show you about the where you can select every livery there, or skin, whatever you want to call it. I just love this helicopter set from Maxflightstick. Makes everything so much more enjoyable holding on to a real collective in a cycle. And the pedals took a little while to get used to because I never had pedals before. But things are looking really good with the hand and foot action all together, dynamically moving in different directions. And let's touch this down nice and gently. Oh yeah, I'll still kind of around. A little taparoon. Alright, let me pull this up here and tell you what I'm talking about there. So we're going to top up this fuel. We're going to be taking off kind of heavy on that. I'm going to lower my collective all the way here. I'm going to rearm this heavy. And so in here, you got all this big long list, plus the ones you download and everything. When you select the Joint Task Force, red or blue, whatever. So where were we here? RF gray. Yeah, it's the same one there. I guess we're gonna rearm here too, so I'll give it a minute. So I'm waiting on the ground. We'll talk about a few things with the helicopter that you're gonna want to know. So vertical speed indicator. It's gonna show if it's above 0, you're gaining altitude. If it's below 0, you're losing altitude, and at 0, you're at perfectly level flight, not gaining or losing altitude. And on a side note, these back doors are probably going to close in a minute, so you're going to rearm. There they go. Just in case you were wondering what the hell's going on back there. You know, that actually got louder. Maybe my speakers were glitching out earlier. Oh well. So ADF VOR compass you're going to have to set to synchronize with your true one. So let's double check there. 21, 21, good. And it's our current time here. We're just coming up on 8 o'clock. So we're 7:30 in game time, in simulator time. Speaking of which, what do you think? Do you consider this a game or a simulator? Let's open up the can of worms right there. Leave a comment below if you find that really funny and you know what I'm talking about. Alright, think we're good to go. Let's rearm these guys. Alright, that's about as much as I want with that crew indicator. Leave in the comments below, do you like the crew status indicator, the trim indicator, and when you want to get rid of that trim indicator, this thing up here, it's right shift, right enter, or right to hard return, whatever it's called, to get rid of that there off your screen. It took me like a year or two to figure that out, because I don't even think that's in the menu list of key commands. Alright, just getting used to the pedals again here as we go. So we're going to keep flying up here to Anapa as the sun's kind of settling over there, which looks real nice on the mountains. And I'm going to gain some altitude here because we're going to be more efficient on our engine as the colder we get. And maybe we'll be able to increase our speed a little bit here, but we are hauling a heavy load. Should be getting pretty decent frames per second, considering I think there's like 150 ships and like 100 and different offshore oil things I put on here. I pull her up in a minute here and I'll show you. Hopefully it doesn't crash or give the water world back there. Oh yeah, we had a interaction with differential wind on that mountain there. Some wind shear. You guys can see, started doing some weird shaking about. know you guys are waiting for me to say a boot, but I don't say it too much there. Alright. Well, I guess this will be the first one. It'll be Into the Sunset. I've named this mission. Or Into the Night. Yeah, I think. Maybe. Whatever. Alright, let's pull up the map here and I'll show you how crazy it's getting. Yep. Other than the battle cruiser up there of Russia, that's static. I think everything's sinkable, and I believe there's another 100 gunboats way up there too. Anyway, I'd like to keep things simple. I only put one moving object on the mission other than myself at this point here, which is the Captain Crunch Chinese vessel we took off, which I think that name suits it well. Without getting too weird, pushing any buttons. And I'm referring to the cereal that I grew up with. Captain Crunch. Back when I used to be a little shit running around there, causing havoc, chaos in the streets, in the big city there. So, May 5th, 2022, let's talk about a few random stuff things there. So, Elon Musk buying Twitter on a side note, what do you guys think? Good thing, or are you guys afraid of possible free speech? Let me know. There you got some more going on over there in the region here that we're flying into shortly in real life, which is kind of sad, and hopefully we'll have some peace over there. We'd like to see people just having a good old time again. Like, oh no, when was it peaceful up over here? Let me think about historical times. Say 2020, no, wait, sorry, 2010? Was there peace up here in 2010? Hopefully. It's been kind of unpeaceful for a while. It's about time you guys got some peace up here in the Black Sea and the Crimea and Ukraine region. The former region of Ukraine and CCP, or whatever it was. But, what was it, 1990 something you guys formed Ukraine? Could be wrong. Anyway, peace in the Ukraine is what I would like. On a side note, special shout out to all the people out there flying the Huey in real life. Or who flew the Huey in real life as well. Veterans, past pilots, current pilots. God love you. God love the Huey. How about you guys leave a like and a thumbs up there, and a comment in the section below if you guys fly the Huey, or fly the Huey in the simulator, or thinking about it. Or if you've flown in one, like just as a passenger, or if they fly overhead every day near an airbase or something. It's kind of sad though. I wish Canada had some CH-118s as the designated call sign that they had assigned to this bird. Which is the UH-1H Canadian variant. That's a Charlie Hotel 118, I believe. That's the code designated variant. Whatever it's called there offhand. Alright, we're just 1,600 feet on MSL, but that's I'm not sure if that's accurate when we took off that ship. Although I guess that's pretty close to true MSL on our this upper altimeter here. As you see, it says 1,650 feet, and here this is 11. So that one like scans the ground, and this one here was set for pressure through your pitot tube, I believe. That's how you pronounce that. Which we're already down to 10 degrees. Have to keep an eye on that. When you fly really high, you can ice up the pitot tube, and it causes a whole bunch of issues there, and you don't want to be doing that. So we do have a De-Icer just under the fuel switch, and a pitot heating. It's just the top right button there, right under the fuse pedal. Which is right there. Whoop, right there, and then pitot heater, which you don't need it right now. We're not near 0 degrees. We're about 9 point something Celsius up there. And it does kind of look like we're getting into the sunset up here, eh? Looking pretty, I'll tell you that. Best thing that ever happened to me was buying this Oculus Rift VR set, CV1 2 sensor edition back in 2018. I don't know, this, I've flown in airplanes and stuff before, and it just, once you start flying in here in VR, you almost forget about the real world. You become one with the helicopter, and I believe this is going to be the future of training, and maybe even drone flight. RC even, where you have the long-range antenna and a VR set where you can move your camera around inside your RC, radio-controlled plane or helicopter or even truck or whatever. That's leave a comment in below if you guys are into that. I believe it's FPV or something like that. First person view. And your radio control stuff. And I think one day I wouldn't mind buying like a turbine Huey and modding that up and doing virtual reality flight around the property there. But this is more enjoyable as well, so I don't have to worry about fuel limitations with RC. I'm sure they don't last too long there in the air. Well, I guess you could mod in a big external or bigger internal fuel tank though with those, as long as you get your center of gravity set. I wonder if it's even possible to do an auto rotation with a radio controlled helicopter. I guess if you could put it in an idle, I guess technically you probably could, eh? Leave in the comments below, can you auto-rotate with a radio-controlled helicopter? Something I have no idea about, and if you know, let me know in the comments. Alright, we've been flying about 40 minutes. I think this Huey cast will be at least an hour long to make you guys enjoy the sights and the sounds of the Huey helicopter. Produced by Bell, starting in the 1950s. They're designed for the US Army, I believe, for their utility helicopter, so they could do multi-role, troop transport, cargo hauling, external sling load, and find a couple of litters in the back there for wounded soldiers. And I believe that's why they came up with the Delta variant, which is a longer fuselage like the Hotel variant we're flying right now, as opposed to the Charlie models and before, or I'm sure there might have been another sub-variant before the D, but when you're looking at the Hueys, there's a couple of different lengths there for the UH variants. the UH-1 Bravo and the UH-1 Charlie, and the HU-1A is an Alpha. That was the original Huey in the 50s there, but that wasn't a production. That was the, I believe they only made a few models of that one. So let me know if I'm wrong. On a side note, I believe just up over there is a Napa. It's been a long time since I've been flying up here. And we got 40 minutes fuel. We're coming up 7:45 local time in Napa in sim. This is clock down here synchronized with the real flight time. So we have a 24-hour day and night cycle, and I'm definitely, maybe one day we'll try to do a really long flight, but not our first one ever, because I really don't want to scare everyone away. Eventually we're going to put up some training videos, some shorter ones, the startup sequences, shutdown stuff, auto rotations, how to combat, and a whole bunch of different things there. Landing on naval ships, taking off from different sea shelf objects, things like that, like oil platforms, which I believe after an APA here, the next time we rearm refuel will be on an offshore oil platform, which you don't have to do anything to those. You just flop them outside or whatever you were, put them on the water, and you can just land on them, and they'll have an armament ready for you to rearm on. Let me know if you can land on those with the Harrier, because I don't have that. Let me know in the comments. If you're a Harrier pilot watching this for some random reason, welcome, and can you land a Harrier on a, I'd imagine you could, and rearm there too, but who knows, maybe it's only for rotary objects, but I'd imagine you never know, eh? Anyways, maybe you guys can, if you really want to pay attention, you can count how many times I say A in the video, and maybe I'll do a free giveaway for a DLC. And I guess you have to watch the video all the way till the end to get every single A that I say today. And it'll be about time by then, hopefully, to be flying into the sunset and get some pretty screenshots. We just hit some wind there. I had 16, no, we're not 16,000. Was it 3,000 feet? I was gonna change wind direction, so maybe we're getting some of that. I can't remember. I just randomly plotted in some wind. It was like 3 knots, 0 feet. I put it up to 6 knots, I think at 3,000, and then just jump up till 9 knots until like 16,000. I can't remember there, but we won't be flying that high today. It's a pretty decent FPS, frames per second, considering running this external hard drive and recording and running this on a 1060 mobile version on a laptop. I believe we're headed pretty much on course here for an APA, because it's not quite over there, and I believe it's inland somewhere, probably around in here, I'm thinking, if I remember right. Could get a little bit higher altitude and know. How cold are we right now? 9 degrees. Oh, that's pretty. Girls think babies are cute. I think the helicopter in the sunset is fine with me any day long. You know it. You can stare at me, baby. With those What color of blue eyes we got? Yeah. I'm a heterosexual man. I don't do any of that there on a side note. Back in the day, we used to joke anyway about stuff like that, so in case you're thinking the wrong things there. Last time I was up here was on a World War II server flying the BA-109, which is one fine piece of machinery from World War II. You know what, it might even be further over that way, but keep her on this course here. I think we're going to do some differential weirding here. Anyway, as we're talking about this nice sights and sounds and scenes with the Huey here on this nice cross-country flight. It's always good to switch it up from time to time. I've been flying down at Kutaisi downtown for, probably the last 200 hours, or the majority of my last 200 hours of flight down there. And I'm pretty sure the majority of my 100 hours or so, I think I've surpassed that now on this Maxflightstick Huey 22 set. Which, I guess since you guys stuck around, I'll let you guys in on a little secret code. Well, I guess it's not so secret now. That's enter artistic flight, all one word, at the checkout at Maxflightstick. And feel free to save yourself 7% off any item or items. Yeah, I think it is over here a bit there. I don't want to go too far off course. Security doesn't fly that fast. Still got a good 40 minutes fuel line. Oh, that's why we're rarely using the EDT. So that fuel burn rate is at like full exhaust, like at the 6 mark there. If I zoom in, the last number before the yellow line. Yeah, I think it's over here. It looks like a runway. It's hard to tell in VR sometimes in 0.9 pixel density. But she sure looked pretty, I tell you that. It's got a hint of maybe GameCube-ish, a retro kind of pixely, a little tiny bit, but the fact that I can play this on a laptop is fine by me. So if you guys are thinking, if you want to get into VR and you're not too sure if your computer will handle it, I think as long as you have an i7 CPU for your computer or laptop or higher, and at least 6 gigabytes dedicated video, you should be able to run a original Oculus Rift CV1. So you're probably looking minimum 8 gigabytes video, unless you're running a 30 series card for say a Rift S or above. And probably want about 12 gigs or more there for a Quest 2, or higher, probably 16 to 24 gigabytes for a HP, whatever they're called there. But I've heard mixed reviews with that, with HP, the one that's they'd allowing on, I guess the original one released for Microsoft Flight Simulator, which I don't have, but what is it, a G2? Whatever the hell it's called. Anyway, apparently you gotta focus in the middle of the lens more with your pupil or something. I don't know. I can move my eye all the way around from left to right and up and down and see pretty much everything in this lens here without having to move my head. long as like within view of where I'm aiming my head. But really happy that I went and paid and bought VR in 2018. Long story ending now. You get great situational awareness, and you can literally turn your head all the way around and as far as you can do before you break your back. Into the back seat there and check out your crew. Somebody's got a big balls over there with that, eh? Oh yeah, that's looking mighty nice. It's gonna be hard to spot targets flying that way though. I gotta let go of the controls here for a minute and move the VR around because I'm getting a headache. Oh, there we go. It's, the foam's starting to come loose there, and it doesn't fit as nice and smooth as it used to. And after about an hour or two, you got to move it a bit there. So anyone seen the VR Goggle 10? She can get you. Or a couple hours later, you can still tell you're in VR there from the imprint on your facial features. And I might as well just call up and Napa and see if they'll respond here. It should. I think it was working before on the naval ship. Alright, I gotta take this. I have this command list set up on my X55 throttle sitting beside me here. The more buttons, the merrier. I got the backlit keyboard so I can see the buttons out of my nose gap. And I was saying the other day on Facebook, the only thing that doesn't have buttons or switches on it here is my anti-torque pedals. But if I was flexible enough, I could probably put some buttons down there too. So you do have some fuse buttons like down there in real life, or real sim, I should say, or in the simulator, whatever you want to call it. So when you guys are landing, on a side note, pretty much anywhere between 500 feet per minute. That's what we're doing here. Descent rate right about there. Oh, now we're going faster, but 300 to 500 feet per minute. It's nice and easy peasy. As we come in here and land, I'm going to top her up again with a little petrol or turbine fuel, jet engine fuel, whatever you want to call it. Aviation grade. I wonder what that's going for right now. I just paid $1.98 per liter for fuel today for my vehicle, which I have to happily say I'm not driving too often lately because of the prices. But I don't really like driving that often anyway. I like flying. After spending probably over 5,000 hours now, I'd say, between 3D and VR. Once you start flying like 30, 40 hours plus VR in the Huey per month, in the simulator, you don't really like driving the car as much. Seems like it's really stuck on the roads. It's fun. Let me know in the comments. Do you fly a lot in VR and get the same, or you feel like you're kind of sick of driving your land vehicle after? Oh yeah, I guess we gotta pull up the window to do this. Alright, we're at 35 there, should be too heavy. And we're gonna have to go through that whole thing again. So, let's see how far into there we are now. Probably about 53, 54 minutes in on the recording. If you haven't already done it, please like this video, subscribe, share, ring the bell, make a comment, as long as it's appropriate. And let me know if you want to see something different. I'm going to fly a night mission next. Hopefully this should go in a night. Mind you, I don't really want to make this video too long. Or let me know in the comments, what do you think? The 1 hour mark is what we're at now. Should be wrapping up the videos here. Or, as I extend this out a little bit longer, do you like the longer one? So I guess if you stuck around longer... Oh, there goes my alarm. I've been in VR 2 hours already. So spend an hour making this mission. I see. I don't think they're done rearming that yet. Oh, maybe they are. Alright. That's good to go. Oh yeah, maybe I better go back on rockets too while I'm sitting here, and we'll close these doors. And on a side note, if you forget to shut your doors, once you hit 60 knots, I believe the wind will force them shut on you. Because you can fly with the door open, which I can show you here in a minute when I get into a little bit of a hover. Really easy to hover when you have this collective set. And you can look over the skid, lean right over off the side of your chair, and then your VR cable gets all weird behind you. Let me put that there. Alright, maybe I shouldn't be doing that too often there. Speaking of which, I've already on my second VR cable that, well, total. I had the first one replaced under warranty for the Oculus Rift CV1, because as you move your head back and forth, the cable will eventually snap inside the rubber housing from just moving it back and forth like 850,000 million times per hour there. Oh yeah, I couldn't hear it when I over EGT. When you fly this long enough, you can hear the different sights and sounds, and you'll know what you're doing wrong, usually, sometimes. Alright, so I think we'll sink the ship in here. Although... Alright, we're at the 1 hour mark. Welcome to the 1 hour mark on the DCS Huey recording HueyCast. Number 1, May 5th, 2022. High fives if you made it this far, because you probably love the Huey as much as I do, or you just like watching the scenery. I do apologize about the jiggles at the side. It's something to do with running Oculus CV1 with DCS in conjunction with Oculus Mirror and the OBS recording software, and then it's just, I don't know, plus I only have 6 gigabytes of video and 16 gigabytes of RAM there, so it's somewhere it's got to loose a little bit, but it doesn't look like that in the simulator. This is smooth as butter with extreme view distance on a side note. And I think I spent, probably over a month when I first got VR, changing settings, trying it for a few hours, changing settings, going back, changing settings, starting all over again. And then certain missions wouldn't work, and then I knew that I had to kind of fix something there, and then found the sweet spot. So if you guys are impatient, you're probably not going to get the best performance out of your VR set when you set them up. Oh, we're not going into the wind there. So just take your time, fly a bit. I have quite a bit turned down in this currently. I believe MSAA is off, SAA is off, heat blur is off, V-Sync is off. I think anti, whatever that is 16. I don't know if I can pull up my settings in here. Let's see. Oh, it pauses in this. I forgot about pause. Speaking of pause, I'm not a big fan of pause, but let's see. I'll just show you my controls real quick. Oh, I guess I can't show them. Oh, well, forget it. Not a big deal. If you're really super interested and you want to know my settings for i7 7700 CPU and 16 gigs plus 6 gigs 1060 mobile, let me know and I'll write them all down for you and put them publicly there in a Facebook group or something one day. There. And man, this has been one enjoyable flight so far, I have to say. But hopefully soon we'll get up into this bottleneck as we go into the Sea of Azov, because I believe I might already be seeing the top of the sea there already. So we're in Russian territory right now, obviously. Let's show you guys on the map. Let me mark my position on the kneeboard. And oh, Captain Crunch way back there. We took off. Oh no, I guess there's quite a ways up there still. I guess over there I can see, as far as the horizon, it's water again. Alright, you know, let's zoom back in on that. Here, oh, this is the different one. Where are we here? There's no gunboats yet. Alright. I guess we'll just be sinking an Elna or two for this video. And then I'll maybe re-edit this same mission and just put it like midnight. So you don't have to mess around there with it, worrying if it's dark or not. And we're still going to go up into the Sea of Azov, but I want to go through the inlet there and show you guys, if you didn't already know, how much of a bottleneck this is here for military strategic holding points, or defensive points on a side note, if anyone's listening. Because you pretty much cut the whole entire sea off from where, like, 2 ships probably, depending how battle hardened it is, trained crew, and how many things it's defending against. But I believe we're gonna sink that ship who's right in the middle of this lake in front of me here in the sun. That's glistening in the shade there. The target is illuminating itself. Does that make sense? And on a side note, the Huey, we have no locking systems, no auto aim. We use, it's called Kentucky Windage, I believe is the term. And where you basically just watch your rounds coming in, or you could walk them in, walk them out. I like to wait till I'm right on target and not waste any rounds, because sometimes you think you're in range but you're not, and you have a limited amount of ammo too, eh? So the reason why I put this heads-up display down now is so I get used to looking out of my left eye and my right eye at the same time so I can fly. Since VR is sometimes I fly like this, and then I wait and then I look back over into it. So let me guys know how you do combat. You just, if you're 3D, you're basically stuck with your fixed screen, and I don't believe you guys don't move your head around as much as easy in track IR, but you get better graphics on a positive note, I guess, with that. But for me, once you go VR, you don't come back. VR for life. And speaking of which, you want to help support the channel, we'll get some upgrades on the laptop here when I get her up to 32 on the RAM, DDR4, 32 gigs. Hopefully in a 33,000 megahertz or higher range. Higher if it's supported there on my motherboard. On the laptop here, it's the Alienware R13. So I believe it gets a little bit better performance because the screen's smaller, and it's like LCD or whatever the heck it is, versus say a R15 or an R17 or whatever they are. But could just be because it doesn't overheat as much, maybe, versus other ones there, but you never know. There's a whole bunch of different factors once you get into video RAM embedded into your motherboard there on laptops, because you can't switch it out like on a computer there with the GPU unless you get an external amplifier, which I was debating for a while, and I'm not too sure still about that, but they're like $700 or whatever now, and I might as well just invest that in a new computer. Hopefully here, by the time I get a new computer, I should say, the 40 series card should be out by NVIDIA, and I really hope we're up to at least 30 gigs of video by now, or close to 40 or so would be nice. Or if we get up to 64 gigs of video, that'd be amazing. I'd be able to put the graphics up, have these videos look super sexier. So where I was leading with that, you guys go to our website, artistic-flight.com, and hit up the download there. $10, help support the team here, and have a little something to show for. And I believe it's 61 pages, 63 pages offhand. Some pictures in there, and some information on the Huey helicopter. Mostly aimed for beginners, but if you're a DCS pilot, there's going to be a startup checklist and I believe shutdown, a brief shutdown list there in case you want something there to print off. I was going to make a really nice checklist there, but I still might do that for a DLC for like maybe $1 at some point, but I'm pretty sure I get dinged for certain lower amount things, their transaction fees, so maybe I'll make it like $5 one time. But anyway, I might make some missions and make them downloadable as well in the future if you guys want. Let me know. I have some very basic to maybe moderate map making skills with not so much, a little bit of I wouldn't say scripting at all really, but anyway, let me know in the comments you guys want me to make some missions, and you guys want to buy them there for a couple of dollars. Alright, let me raise up here to say 20 feet. That should be good. Alright, we're gonna rifle this guy here in a minute. Oh man, that was as smooth as butter. Oh, maybe not now. Okay, that's the first little lag I've seen all day. Alright, I'm gonna jettison my rocket pods down here to the left. Bing, bada boom. And there goes some gaining altitude, I should say. I don't know what the heck I was gonna say there. Swinging around, and let's let this door gunner finish them off. Now I'll get rid of this for now. At least this way I don't have to worry about too much now. And you guys will get a little enjoyment here as I watch over and VR and get some crazy good angles. This guy's taking a long time shooting that. I think it should be done by now with all them rockets. You guys can see how if you fly into the sun, it's a little bit easier to see the shadow of the target, but at some point later here, oh, I think it's finally sunk. Unless you ran out of ammo, let me check on you. Oh, you dirty bird. You used all your ammo. Alright, let's try not to hit VRS here, and I'll swing around and finish him off if I need to. Good here, left pedal. Watching that thing burn. Sucked being a sailor on that in real life. You know, if any of the military services are watching this and would like to be a tactical rotary wing captain or colonel, or maybe, well, we'll start at a lieutenant, I believe, in the Canadian Armed Forces. But anyone's got a Huey ready to go and wants to hire me, let me know right now in the comment, or not the comments. You better hit up my Facebook group and send me an instant message there if you want to hire me for being a pilot. But I think I might stay the civilian road and start a walk-on site simulator services. And we're gonna have like a Huey multi-crew pilot co-pilot. And then from there I'm gonna add probably a 2-person F-15 Eagle, F-14 Tomcat, and a dedicated F-18 carrier based, and then F-16, or did I say that? Falcon? You guys call them Vipers, but I grew up watching the movies from the 80s there, and they always call it a Falcon. One of my other favorite movies is Iron Eagle. Probably quite a cult classic by now, especially with Louis Gossett Jr. I don't think he's alive anymore, God rest his soul. If he is, God love ya. Oh wow, this thing finally blew up. Alright. Let me get rid of that. I'm gonna see how far that sinks. Unless it's already on the bottom of this here. I wondered about that when I put these ships up here. I've never, a couple years ago, you could never put naval units inland into the water inlets and stuff. They would say, please place ships on water and not on land. But now they're letting you do it. So apparently that was like, if I put that ship there, it would not be able to move under its own power there. So it would be, what do you call it? Like that thing that happened in a Suez Canal, it blocked it. It hit and it bottomed out. It got stuck there. But, anyway, we're an hour and 15. Hopefully fairly entertaining as the sunset goes in. And let's get some sexual external views of the Huey in the sunset. I gotta zoom out here. Yeah. Flying into the wind still. Yeah, this left pedal here. Really having to go left hard pedal here. I don't usually fly in third person, so don't mind me here if this looks really horrible. Alright, I'm gonna go over here and check out this inlet. So there's the Sea of Azov up there. Sorry, don't mind me. I'm trying to change the view. I did a screenshot of that. I'm gonna do a flyby here for you. And I'm gonna go back to first, or yeah, where we are. This is where I prefer to be. It's a simulator, so try to keep it simulated. Hey, leave a like and comment for me. There's another bottleneck entry there, eh? Alright, where are we at? 30 plus, 35 plus minutes fuel. I'm quite happy with, what time is it here? We got 8:18. Alright, so I guess I really should have bumped it to 8. Oh well, it's a nice hour and you get to see some sights and sounds there as we talked about the Huey. And hopefully it'll be a really nice, really picturesque, photogenic, breathtaking. This is my day when I fly in VR. Some of you people in VR chat, man, you really need to get a simulator, man. Let's get your seat, plop your butt down, and try some of these out. There's like Ultra Wings is a pretty entry level simulator for the Quest without needing a computer, on a side note. And one day I'll try to get some footage of that there, but it's gonna give me like VR sickness because it's a different platform than the rotary flight here I'm used to. And I remember I played Ultra Wings on a Quest 2 for a couple hours straight for a few days in a row, just pushing her and pushing her and pushing her. And man, I had VR sickness, gotta be almost like a week straight. So, long story short, if you're in a VR and you're starting out in VR, as soon as you start feeling woozy, usually a good time to stop on that note. And don't get too Yankee and Banky. Which is good with the helicopter. If you're a fairly decent pilot to start out with, you could have a nice stable flight. Yeah, I think we'll start heading more up here. I mean, just zoom in on the map here real quick. Oh, there's the bottleneck here, all the way through here. Sounds like the fan's going really loud on the laptop. Yeah, I'll just keep flying up here. What we will do is, I guess I'll turn these lights on now. With my Maxflightstick collective replica with the, I'm over EG chain, I don't know, has the same buttons and switches as in the simulator, as it's the one-to-one replica of the Huey. And the anti-torque pedal is a little bit different there in the set, but you go check out Maxflightstick.com and check out the rotary controls and the Huey 2022 set. The only thing I could point out is there was no throttle lock, twist lock, and that red thing on there on the, and the searchlight button was not yellow, and the trigger was black, not red. That's it's all good. I mean, it's paintable, it's plastic. You guys really anal if you were to buy it, and wish it was red or yellow or whatever. Oh yeah, I believe. Okay, yeah, because the sun's setting on the Crimea. I believe that's the Crimea. I don't really want to keep pulling up the map here, but hour and 22 minutes. Alright. Just trying to make sure I keep track of the time there. This 2 hours is going to be a maximum for me here on this video. Especially being the first Huey podcast, so I try to keep it fairly politically, like, fairly non-political subjects today. I'll try to keep things fairly clean. But in the future, we're going to have a Huey cast all about conspiracy theories. So stay tuned for that. It's in the pipeline. And I guess you better ring the bell and be notifications there on those. If you want to be getting those notifications when that ever comes out there. So trying to pump out a bunch of videos. On a side note, as you guys can see, the cursor button, this thing here, they've fixed with an update so it no longer stays on the screen. As you'll see, it'll disappear here in a moment. There it goes. And oh, I gotta fix my headset. There's a random cramp there in my forehead. Yeah, it's really lost my train of thought. Oh well. It'll come back to me there. Maybe I must have rubbed my brain or something there and lost the train of thought. Real good. So this is about as far north as you can get. Well, I guess you could go way up into the Sea of Azov, but I'm not going to do that. So we'd be going way up over in there. We need a little bit more left pedal here. Try not to watch the horizon because keep gaining altitude here. If you guys are trying to fly, instrument flight rules, which is pretty important when you're flowing into the nighttime. You need to trust your vertical speed indicator and your ADF VOR and your magnetic compass. Maybe not so much the attitude indicator, but it does help though if you're like really off axis before you like start trying to do a loop and mass bump to your death. But looks like they're starting to put the lights on down there. So what is that? That's H25. Alright. Make another mission like right at dusk for the shorter missions. Or shorter videos, I should say. And we'll go right across in through here. And I'll just show you where the... almost like a land bridge. I believe they built Russia built a new highway linking the Crimea to the Sea of Azov, or across the Sea of Azov, I should say. So I'm wondering if they already used the existing land bridge and did that, or if they just went across all the way and built a new one. I'd imagine this is one of the thinnest points up here. Oh yeah, the lights are coming on those street posts. So I'll drop her down here and let you guys see what I'm talking about. Trying not to overspeed here. 120 knots is usually max airspeed for the Huey. And then we'll stay nice and low in here. I remember I think I built a combat mission all the way up into here at one point. And you had to pretty much had 1,000 ground units, but it lagged out too bad there after one update. And there should be some more over here, I think. So when it gets real dark in here, I could get gunboats all up in here before. This is real fun, and when it's pitch black, you can't see them at all, and you gotta go into night vision. I'm not sure what that button is offhand. It might be right shift and L. I don't really want to pull it up in the daylight. But anyway, some nice sights and sounds down low in here as we get closer to, we're about 200 feet AGL. And I thought I'd link up with this roadway here, because it should end abruptly, if I remember correctly here. But just going to show you the street lights are on. I think there's another street up there by the look of it. Yeah. I'll go up to this one. Just make sure we're not heading in the wrong direction. Alright, back left pedal. Oh, it's not a train. Looks like it was... Can't even see it in the VR there. It goes... Okay. I believe you can land on the trains at certain points on the Persian Gulf map, but these ones here with all those towers, and I believe they're electrical trains, you can't land on them there. They'll run you over too if you land on the train tracks, which maybe we'll do bloopers in one video there. Speaking of which, one time maybe we'll have a beers and the Huey cast, which probably won't be very long because I try to keep alcohol away from expensive flight controls and proper flying technique. Keep things real, because obviously you don't drink and fly in real life, but every so often there you get a bunch of people on multiplayer and have a little hoorah, whatever you want to call it, or brouhaha for French. Hopefully I pronounced that right. It's been a while since I had French in school there in up in Canada, eh? Mandatory learning. I believe it's starting in grade 5 up until grade 9. Unless that's changed, I have no idea. So we're gonna fly. Whoa, there's some weird lag there. Looks like the sensor acted up. Anyway, we're going to fly across this little channel from Russia to the Crimea side and back. Well, I guess it's all Russia now, but and just to give you a little glimpse of how narrow this is. I was talking to you before, probably about an hour or so ago, about how it bottlenecks in here. As a naval ship, probably sure you probably wouldn't want any narrower than that unless you're like driving up and down the Suez Canal or maybe other canals or whatever. And I could just look at that sunset all day long. Here, let's get some more picturesque external views. For those of you, oh, screenshot. Oh yeah. I'm getting a whole bunch of screenshots for this. And we'll move the view back here so you guys can see what I'm doing. I was using the hat on the Cyclic hat, because they have the replica Cyclic and the replica Collective and Age of Work pedal, so all the buttons are where they should be. And you move your head around freely in VR, just trying to get too wild with you and give you VR sickness here. But anyway, flying into the sunsets. And I'm gonna, maybe we'll do another couple of different views. So you guys can see how picturesque it is, where you get a little crazy with doing screenshots. I remember one time flying, the next thing I knew I had 250 screenshots, and it reminded me of like going to a tourism spot there and following the Asian dude. There you go, click, 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 click. I'm racking the day when you had rolls of film. Not trying to be offensive, but they just love their pictures. You always tell the Japanese tourists there, but good folk. Great culture, Japan. And I'd love to go there one time and see the cherry blossom trees when they drop their pedals. And normally there's not ships up in here. I put a whole bunch, so in case we run out of time, there'll be a whole bunch of what do you call them? Offshore refineries here we can land at too. Seems like my frames per second are going higher. The revolutions on that blade sound different. We gain some altitude, and we're going to come over the top of this little inlet, and hopefully find an offshore refinery here and land on it. But man, is that picturesque over there. I'm going to take a screenshot in the field. Yeah. So you can lean your head back and look out the windows. Oh man, is that beautiful. I know it's not real, but damn, it's better than real life sometimes. You guys did a great job. All the developers at ED, and God rest in peace, the original developer of ED. You guys have done a wonderful job. Nothing else compares to you. Oh man. I could stare out of my window all day and probably crash though, but we're coming up on 8:40 in simulator time, and I think we're going to start wrapping this up. Thank you for joining us on this first and wonderful, amazing Huey cast, and there will be many, many more, and they'll be only getting better as we get digital software editing, or however you say that. I think I said that like dyslexic or something for some reason there. Anyway, I'm not even dyslexic. It's just weird. I don't know. Maybe I am. Oh well. Anyway, join our group on Facebook if you'd like, Artistic Flight, and please like, subscribe, comment, ring the bell, everything you possibly can do, maybe even share the video. And hopefully we'll keep you guys entertained into many, 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 many years from now, as long as we don't get some dumb nuclear war here. So I pray for peace for all you guys over in the Ukraine. Pray for peace for everyone. Man, it's that beautiful. I'll take another screenshot. Let's see about the external view. We're gonna get one more of that. And trying to line her up there, and there we go. Should be good enough. Let's take another one just to be safe. Alright. Should warn you when I switch around. Actually, on a side note, let me switch over to seat. Oh, we're running low on fuel, eh? Alright. So that was the 20-minute fuel, or 30 minutes now? No, that's 20 minutes. I was gonna say. You know what? Let's see where the closest thing is here. I guess that one over here, right? Alright. Alright, I see the lights on that offshore thing already. We're gonna haul ass over there and shut it down and wrap up this first Huey cast of the channel. Artistic Flight Facebook group, Artistic Flight on their YouTube channel. We have artistic-flight.com, our website. Feel free to help us out and purchase the download Discover Rotary Flight based on the UH-1 in there. And it's not a complete guide, it's just a... you'll love it. If you love the Huey, you'll find it entertaining. And if you want to just donate for just in general and download it, give it to your friends. And let me know there when you get the confirmation email from that download there, if it's given any weird stuff through Shopify, because I never really set up the URL or information on the email thing if it's sending you a confirmation email after purchase. So if it looks kind of whack there, it should still have the direct link to download as many times as you want once you purchased it. And I noticed the first person who purchased that there had to download it twice. But that's cool. You download as many times as you want. So I'd imagine probably 5 minutes till we're on the deck there. And yeah, let's be about an hour and 45 mark. That's how we wrap her up here. So, if you haven't already, I've said it a few times, please like the video, subscribe, hit the bell, make a comment, help out the algorithm, help out Huey pilots, and you can help out our mascot, Kohler. I need some medications there. I don't want to go too far into detail, but $800 next month there for his meds. So if you want to do a whole bunch of digital downloads there, help out the dog as well, our mascot Kohler. And if I ever make some external videos here, you might see them, because I'm going to try to film with my action cam so you guys can see the pedals and the collective and the cyclic in action while I'm in VR. And I'll try to figure out how to link and synchronize those videos with time and audio so they look appropriate, where it's like picture in window or whatever it's called. I'm sure I could figure out there. It's not like quantum physics to do video editing. My beer cord jumped over my elbow all of a sudden. That was weird. Anyway, I thought I'd show you guys some of the Crimea / Novorossiysk and Anapa area, and taking off there, maybe a little bit of combat, sinking some ships, which is better than loose lips, especially for a female. Anyway, I was going to talk about a whole bunch of different random stuff, but I figured this worked out anyway, versus trying to talk too much. I figured let you guys enjoy listening to Huey, listen to the sights and the sounds. And I guess we're going to be pretty close to that 45 mark here by the time you land and shut it down. Still 15 minutes fuel left. Plenty of time. And we're at 500 feet. I think this is probably a good height to linger around in case we hit vortex ring states. And anything under the 500 feet AGL, you're somewhat in a dead man's curve when you have to auto-rotate, and I'm pretty much dead anyways because this helicopter has no floats if we auto-rotate into the water, so hopefully we don't have to auto-rotate out here and end on a horrible note, but oh well. So in case you haven't noticed already, in the middle of the water here, this is the oil rig we're going to land on. Never had a time to name them. The only thing I named was the Captain Crunch ship that we took off from, and as you can see, we had a Captain Crunch on the main rotor mast when we tried to take off there because I waited too long to start up as it was jiggling there on the ship as it was moving. So I guess they forgot to do the tie downs and the helicopter was moving forward for some reason, even though the ship was in motion. But, oh well. Sometimes I never question DCS, I just smile and I nod, and I reset my chopper to a new one. Don't put that one in the logbook. On a side note, before we wrap up, who keeps track of their hours in VR? Do you have a logbook? Do you just write down how many hours you've flown, or you just estimate, or just don't keep track? But Anyway, I like to keep track of my hours. I haven't totaled up my VR hours in a while there. Should probably do it annually. I've been doing it monthly lately, but anyway, we're just about into a hover here. Oh, this should be a sexual landing. Alright, there we go. We're gonna keep raking the yellow. Oh, guess we're already there. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys how to do a quick shutdown. Just going to get my feet off these pedals. Ah, nice. I can move my legs again. Okay, so the first thing I do when I shut down, I'm going to throttle down. And then I wait to turn off this alarm because it gets annoying. I'm going to turn off these lights ahead of time on my collective in real life. Okay, so that's in the middle, that's off. So basically the landing light's in a down position. I have my searchlight in the central position on my collective when I turn it off. And that one's in a central position. But anyway, these buttons are all the same with my control set in real life. But I don't want to bore you to death there, so without having to look, I can tell if I've centered my pedals, because you can just tap on them with my foot. No, maybe a little bit more right, and that should be centered, or you could just not wing it and pull this up. Wow, that was right on the mark, except for this, which is the cyclic. But I'm gonna have to move that anyway to get out here. Anyways, before I talk too much, we'll shut the fuel off. I like to turn all the lower console things off. As I'm turning off, like something banged over there. That was weird. Anyway, there's my dog. I can turn these off now. Once you turn the inverter off, it helps power down quite a bit. So, just thought I'd point that out there. Those are off. That's where that was. I'll turn the battery off. Alright, I think we're all good to go here. I'm gonna say thank you for watching the video. You guys, I wouldn't be able to, well, continue on with this without you guys there. Hopefully, main goal here, reach 1,000 subscribers and we can try to get this thing monetized and unleash the floodgates of just pure Huey love, Huey topics, Huey subjects, helicopter flying, different sights and sounds, different maps, daytime, nighttime, combat, everything else there. So I appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell, follow the group, join our Facebook thing. On a side note, DCS Huey is another Facebook group you guys can join, and helisimmer.com. Check out Sergio's page and his Facebook group. And I believe that's it. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining, and I'm just going to jump out of my simulator pit and run around this chair and get to my laptop and end this OBS recording. And actually, before I get up, better move these goggles here. So bear with me. Thanks again. Hopefully next, maybe in a week we'll have the next one up, and then we'll try to get them up more often. I have very slow upload, so it might take a day and a half to upload this. Anyways, thanks again. God love ya. Have a great old day. God love the Huey, and God love y'all. Take her easy.